Shadows can mess with your mind, keep you living small and confined. In the shadows, it's hard to see when the light's not shining on the path that you're supposed to be. So if you're doubtful and the gray clouds appear, walk out in the rain, let it wash away your fear. Step out into the light, break those chains that have held you tight. Step out into the light, break those chains that have held you tight. Be love wherever you go, you'll find light, even in the shadows, even in the shadows. That's not to say that some days won't be hard, like the world is against you, feeling charred and scarred. If so, breathe, go deep inside, where love is present, shadows cannot thrive. Forward motion, give of what we get, love in all we have, live without regret. Step out into the light, break those chains that have held you tight. Step out into the light, break those chains that have held you tight. Be love wherever you go, you'll find light, even in the shadows, even in the shadows. Love is all that's true. Love lets me see you. Love will ignite desires cloaked by the night. Break those chains that have held you tight. Step out into the light, break those chains that have held you tight. Be love wherever you go, you'll find light, even in the shadows, even in the shadows. Even in the shadows, even in the shadows. Be
Oh, Pierre. Yes. You know, that song just brought me to this place where, we live our lives kind of believing that if we're living this enlightened life, it's all love and peace, and it is. However,
Yeah.
sometimes the shadow or those places for us don't give us the opportunity to really, it's those dark places. It's actually those places where we need the care the theme this month is caring. And it's in those dark places that when we can care for ourselves in those places, in those that we can step out and feel the light and feel the love. And so beautiful, beautiful song to kick off this month, Pierre. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it's like realizing the shadows exist like they do in the world, and the shadows are a metaphor, obviously, for the dark times, the dark feelings, whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, because essentially we do live in the, of our own mind and in the world at large.
Mm-hmm.
And the world is just reflective of where we are. So
yeah,
absolutely perfect song to launch this month of caring, sir. Thank you
My pleasure.
so much. And we'll hear you play in a little bit.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Awesome. Okay. So we'll talk to you in a bit, Pierre.
Okay.
Thank you for that beautiful entry. Thank you. Thank you. And at this moment, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who's showing up tonight. Welcome. Welcome, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching the archives, wherever you are in your time. I trust to know that you're going to hear everything that you need to hear. So trusting and knowing that, I just wanted to say thank you. Also wanted to acknowledge last week I was away and we had the amazing, incredible Reverend Laurie who stepped in, Dr. Reverend Laurie, and Pierre's music was bang on again. Nick's meditation was fantastic. So it's just nice to know that we have a community that is multi-layered and the message still gets out. And so know that that's a real gift. That's a real gift, and we'd love to be able to continue to do that through this medium as well, for now and eventually in real life. And I just can't wait for the day that we're actually standing in front of people, and actually we are bringing in our guest speakers who are further away. Just so looking forward to that one day. Right now, I would like to do just a bit of a treatment, and then I'm going to get into a wonderful meditation where we can all just unplug our hats and just really be present for that. So whatever you are, wherever you're doing, whatever you were doing prior to this moment, just recognize that you come here to give yourself this moment right here, right now. And in doing so, you have made a conscious choice. And in that consciousness, in that choice to be fully present, that you have come to this place on purpose. And whatever is going on in your life, just set it down for the next hour and just allow yourself this opportunity to be fulfilled. And as the theme was last month, just allow that wonderment just to happen. We talk about this world right now, and we talk about, as Pierre said, some of the shadows in the world. The reality is that we're all connected to this divine source, and we get to see the world in whatever way we choose. And whatever's going on inside, when we acknowledge it and allow it, we start to change the frequency of what it is that we're focused on. And once we start to do that, things start to show up in a magical way sometimes. And so it's from that place that I want you to think from here for at least the next hour. And then if it works, carry it with you for the rest of the week or the rest of your life, whatever it takes for that. I just want to say I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be here and to share this intention with you. And also grateful for the theme this month, which is caring. How many times do we go through life in that state of perhaps not carelessness, but care? Maybe it's not being fully in the intention of caring, and sometimes that can create some things in our life. So I'm grateful for that, grateful for you being here, grateful for the music and everything else, this venue that we get to share. And with that gratitude, I release it, and I know that it is done, because we know that the power of the universe, whatever we put in, fully intended and fully thought through and fully for our highest good, the universe will just say yes. So allowing that to happen, and as you sit here tonight, is wonderful. So release it, let it go, and we say, and so it is. So you're welcome to join us in saying that as well. And from that perspective, I'm going to go right into the meditation. I let this meditation transport you to this inner place, because my meditations tend to bring us to the inner world and to the inner self that connects us to the outer self. And to the outer world, the greater world around us. So I'm going to say to you right now, just live in that place of peace and that place of consciousness as I work through this meditation. So what I'm going to do is invite you to close your eyes if it's comfortable for you to do that. Just become fully present. And just as I said, allow yourself to be in that place of peace, that place of light. And I'm going to ask Nick to stop sharing his screen to just share the vocals if he can. But just trusting and knowing right now from this place of closed eyes that you're fully comfortable and that you're fully in the place that you need to be right here and right now. And just as every week I ground myself to this spot, I want you to feel your feet to the floor. I want you to feel that connection. Allow that connection to be felt fully. Feel the weight of your feet, the energy underneath your feet. The earth is always moving underneath us. Allow yourself to have that movement of earth underneath you and feel your feet connected to that. Work your way up through your body and into your legs. Feel the circulation of the blood, the energy that is there, all of life's circulation moving through you. Work your way up to your hips and feel the weight of your hips and your feet and your legs connected to the ground that is always moving and always vibrant. Feel the flow of energy moving back and forth, back and forth. As we move up to our spine, become conscious of your spine resting on the back of your chair or wherever you're sitting. Feel that connection. Feel that flow of energy that flows from the ground to your feet, to your legs, to your hip, and now to your spine. This weighted physical connection is an assurance that you are substance, that you are made of substance, and everything around you is made of substance. As we move into our shoulders, becoming conscious of our shoulders and just letting them relax. Feel the energy flowing from our shoulders to our arms, to our hands. Just simply allow that energy to flow through you. Allow each breath that you take to bring you into a deeper state of meditation. Feeling my arms and my shoulders, my spine, my hips and my legs, right down to my feet. They're connected to the ground, which is always moving. Now becoming fully conscious of your neck, back of your head. Moving around to the face. Feel your mouth just relax. Your cheeks just relax. forehead and your eyes. Become conscious of the circulation throughout your entire body right here, right now. From my lips to my cheeks, to my eyes, to the very top of my head. Relaxed, fully present, fully conscious. Circulating energy from my tip of my head to my neck, to my shoulders, my hands, my arms, and my spine, my hips, my legs, and my feet to the ground that is always moving. To understand how the universe is always moving even when we can't see it. There is a study that is done, and they discovered that trees and forests are always communicating with each other. It takes a little bit longer, but just like the synapses of our nerve endings that allow us to have movement to our muscles, that exists in nature. Older trees tell younger trees what it is that they need to survive. Imagine that the ground is always moving and you're a part of this ground, this life, this energy. What's fascinating is that the older trees not only communicate with the younger trees of their species in the forest, in the world, they also communicate with other trees, other species of trees. Imagine that is always happening underneath our feet, in a world that we can't see, but we understand exists. Now take that to a personal place and think of all the humans who are gathering on this planet. And quietly we are energetically connecting with every other human being. Now imagine a world where we're living in that connection, fully aware that our energy is communicating with other human beings. Just like nature and just like the trees, we need to release any judgment of another human. Because from that place of judgment, that energy, there is a shift. If you want to see a better world, then see a better world. Send that vibrational energy. Just imagine, just like the trees are communicating with all the species. Send that kind of energy into the universe in a loving way. Be aware of the consciousness that you are a part of in this planet. Be aware that you're a part of nature. And just allow that energy, just allow that love, that light, that peace, and that joy to be what you send into the world. Imagine that world when everything that we put out comes back to us multiplied abundantly. Let's put kindness into the world. Let's put love into the world. Let's put peace into the world. Let us consciously put joy into the world. Let us consciously choose love. As we know, the world reflects what we feel and what we put into it. It doesn't mean that everything else doesn't exist, that doesn't feel loving, but we know that what we focus on, what we truly focus on, is what shows up in our world in abundance. And so in this philosophy, we talk about the 4 pillars. I love the example that Dr. Lori gave last week about 4 legs on a table, and that each leg has to be balanced. Creative expression, put that into the world in a caring, kind, loving way. Financial or abundance, put that into the world with kindness and love and light, and know it for everyone. Health. Think about your health, your well-being, and the well-being of everyone you know and everyone you love, and put that into the world in a kind and loving way. And finally, relationship. Put that into the world in a caring, kind, loving way with all the relationships that you have. Understand that when you release attachment, that all the things that no longer serve you simply disappear. It's like a magical secret that when you give things that don't matter less attention and focus on the desired outcome that you want, that your world starts to show up in that way. So choose kindness, choose caring, choose love. In this meditation on caring, just imagine yourself right now wrapped in this blanket of pure love. Imagine this almost cocoon-like state of joy, peace, love. And then imagine that beyond that blanket, everything in the world that you see is lit up, is highlighted by pure love energy. That is the power that you carry inside. It is the power that you can release into the world. And just like nature with the trees that are always communicating, even though we cannot see it, just know that the energy that you're putting out is also reaching exactly where it needs to reach. That is what the intention is. That is what the intention of this service is. That is what the intention of each note that Pierre plays is. That is what music is. That is what joy is. That is what inspiration is. That is what all of it is. It's all connection. It's all love. And now bring it back to yourself. Come into this moment again. Feel yourself connected to the ground from the tip of your head. Feel the energy circulating as you come back into this place of matter, which is exactly what you're made of. Feel it from your head to your face, to your neck, to your shoulders, to your hands and to your arms, to your spine, to your hips, and to your legs, and to your feet that are connected to the ground that is always communicating and always alive. Come back to this moment. Realize that you can be in this state at any time, any place. You simply need to feel the earth communicating under your feet. Thank you for allowing me to take you on this journey. Namaste.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. it seems I've lost my way. When I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only
Yes, there is only love. Thank you, Pierre, for taking us out of that. Actually, for waking me up. As I get
That's
so
good.
into the design sort of meditation that just flows, and then
Mhm.
your song comes in, and it's just as though the words exactly what I needed to hear. So thank you.
Oh, great.
You're amazing.
Wonderful. Thank you. So are you.
Oh, thank you. Well, we will talk to you in a little bit for sure.
Okay, sounds great.
And right now, actually, it's my pleasure to introduce the incredible guest host with me tonight, if that's the right way to say it. It's the incredible Dr. Liza Marquez. Yes, hi, Liza. How are you doing?
Reverend Fred, how are you? It's so good to be back here, be back to having a conversation with you. I love coming and being a part of the GTC Toronto family. So thank you for inviting me, and thank you for having me be a part of this tonight.
Yeah, well, listen, the door is always open for you, honestly. So anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome to. The contributions that you're making to our community are huge. We'll talk a little bit more about that even a little bit later. We just finished, just to kind of go back, but not really, we just finished the month of Wonder. So how did Wonder show up for you? Like what was that like for you this month? Did you know, how did it show up? Tell me.
Oh my God. Well, I think it shows up in so many ways. And, one of my big things, before I really took a deep dive into all these classes and teachings and so on, I realized that my life was a lot about confrontation. Like I was right away, like I was ready. Dukes were up anytime. And I started to become less confrontational and more curious as a response. And the more I got to go from having confrontation be my knee-jerk reaction to curiosity being my knee-jerk reaction, it just opened up a completely different pathway, not just for myself, but my relationship to things in life and my relationship to other people. And so this month of Wonder brought me back to that constant state of curiosity, because we wonder about so many things that show up. And a lot of times when they're showing up, it's like, wow, I'm in awe and I'm in wonder of how this showed up. But, there's also the other version of like, oh my God, I wonder how that showed up again. And, it brought me back to staying in the curiosity of, I wonder why this is showing up again.
Beautiful. Well, it's interesting that you even say that, because that knee-jerk reaction. I mean, how many of us have lived our entire lives, still, oh well, you know what? I mean, so you reacted a certain way because you heard something or you saw something, or you reacted this way and it worked for you once and you continue to do it the rest of your life. And I love that you say that. Like when you focus on wonder, you're actually allowing that knee-jerk reaction to be not the thing that you go to. because it's like the reflex when you hit the knee and the leg goes up. Well, stop hitting the knee, right? Like allow a situation to come and say, like, it doesn't have to be that, and living in that consciousness. And that, you know what, you summed it up so well. Thank you. That was absolutely, I just love that, that you've actually stopped that knee-jerk reaction and come into it with a sense of wonder. We had Dr. James on, and he said very similar things. It's like going back to that childlike, wow, looking at something for the first time. It did that for me living in Southern Ontario here, where there's great wine, by the way.
Which I just discovered.
I'm thinking you'll be up here in person visiting this community sooner than you think.
I think I am.
So there you go. And so we're moving into this new scene, caring. What are you excited about? What does that mean to you, caring? What does that mean when I say that to you?
I think it's so many, to me, it's interesting because while wonder and caring may seem like two totally different things, I think it's not. I love that you just shook your head. You're like, no, it's when you're in a state of wonder, you're in a state of also being able to care, to self-care, and care for others, and care for, situations that, again, are coming up into your life. And so I'm excited to be more directive with my self-care this month. I love when we have themes. I love that there are themes, because it keeps me grounded into something like, oh, right. Okay. So this month is about caring. What is it that I want to care about? Like, how about being more intentional about how I'm taking care of myself? Because I can say I'm taking care of myself, and I generally do take care of myself. But when I bring that intention, the same way last month of like bringing the intention of wonder into things,
Yes. And that's, I'm excited for the same thing, because when we get the theme a couple of weeks ahead of time, and so when we start to roll it out, I already start on that journey. And you're right, it ties in, like you go wonder, and then you go, oh my gosh, it just feels like a natural flow into the next theme. And so, that's and as we know, what you focus on, you get more of. So when you start to focus on it, more things come up for you to be able to do that. More things start to present itself. Do you want to read our theme for our affirmation for the month, or do you want me?
I would love to. Okay. Yes.
So if you'll read it, and we'll read it together as a community. So
that sounds perfect. So here it is. It is, I care for myself by remembering who I am. Ready? I care for myself by remembering who I am.
All right, let that sink in. As we go deeper into this discussion on caring, and you said it, knowing that we are, focused on this, that there's going to be so many things. It's always exciting when we launch a month. And then I always get to the end of the month and I look back and go, wow, like that went to a whole other level that I didn't expect. And so it actually gets exciting. It actually, really gets exciting to me. The one thing that in our affirmation that it says is remembering who you are. I'm living this caring life by remembering who I am. What does that mean? What does remembering who I am mean to you?
Well, for me, it's getting grounded in the truth. Getting really, when I remember who I am, it's funny. I remember once a long time ago when Dr. James was on stage and he had mentioned something, and Margaret Owens, who's an amazing, she is her voice is beautiful. Everything about her is just beautiful. Like, she just carries herself so well. And when we were talking about this very thing, one of the things that she said, she just yelled it out from the audience, because it was just like, all of a sudden she had a download, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there she is. And she's talking about how she has, when she has those moments where she can't, like, that becomes so upsetting. And she can't love everything because it just doesn't feel right. She can't forgive everything in that moment because of how she feels. But when she remembers who she is, it opens the door to be able to love only and forgive everything. And that has stayed with me because it is, when you remember who you are, no matter what is happening around you, it's kind of like, boom, it's that stop that makes you go, that's the real question when you remember who you are is, am I experiencing what I would like to experience right now? Am I in a place, in a position, and am I giving out the energy that I would like to give? Then there's only two answers. It's either yes or it's no.
That's right. And so when we say remember who we are, I just remind myself that I am love, I am light, I am peace, I am joy, and I'm all kinds of things. I'm not just those things because my experiences bring me to another place. But when I remember that at the core of who I am, I mean, I always go back to this. I mean, I've used this before, but in this discussion, I think is appropriate. When you look at a newborn baby, and all you see is love. I mean, I used to call them leaky things. I mean, I don't have any, so it's like they're just leaky things. I mean, they just, that's what they are, right? But you know what? You hold that baby, that infant, that newborn in your hand, and you just feel love. And I always say that that's that sacred inner self. That's that love place. And we are all that. Every one of us knows that truth about ourselves. It may be buried under layers and layers and layers of life and crap and stories and things that you no longer need, but you hold on to them or whatever, and they're layers, and you just got to peel them away. But I know that every single person who's listening right now, and every single person who has had this experience has also had that experience where it's like, no, this is not who I am. This is my circumstance, but this is not who I am. I am love. And that's the thing. And it's the same thing in the newborn child. It's the same thing when someone passes away and we remember their essence. We don't always remember that they have upset us or what the circumstances were in life, but we remember our connection to that person. We may not have even seen them for a very long time, but we remember that connection. That's the essence of love. That's who I am. And when I can remember that, as you say, that foundational truth, then I can move to a place of forgiveness. Then I can move to the place of everything else that needs to be, move me to my highest good. So I love to frame that.
When you're there, you understand that you have the ability to shift anything. You're not living in that victim mode. You're not living in someone else's whatever, it's just like, oh, when I remember who I am, it's just like, I can move mountains, just like the saying, with faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. When I remember who I am, I can move mountains. And it reminds me, as we were speaking right now, just so happens that I was sitting next to my book by Deepak Chopra, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. And the first law is the law of pure potentiality. And I love this because this is what he says in that first law. The source of all creation is pure consciousness, pure potentiality seeking expression from the unmanifest to the manifest. And when we realize that our true self, with a capital S, is one of pure potentiality, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. That's what knowing who you are is.
That ability to manifest anything, to create anything. And when circumstances in life then come along and go, oh yeah, I'll show you why you shouldn't be happy. You're like, no, I get to choose.
Right.
I get to choose the energy that I'm putting into, just like in the meditation with the trees. They're always communicating. We're always communicating. The difference is maybe it's the same thing. Maybe they're conscious of what they're doing too. We always think of them as inanimate, right? But now we're learning that they're not.
Right.
So yeah, I love that. Oh, what a great quote from what a great opening.
I love it. It's that reminder of, what we are essentially is pure potential. And while we have the ability to create, we are that creation already. And that is, what is it that you choose to be in any moment, in any time? And it's that freedom of choice, that freedom, that ability to move through life with the alignment of that power. Oh,
absolutely. And if you do from a place of love and kindness and caring, I mean, if you put caring at the core of all of what you do, I mean, that's where shift happens, really happens, right?
yeah.
Caring is it's such an easy thing to do, and yet we can forget that because we can get so busy being in wonder that we're just like, take it in, take it in, take it in, take it in, right? And the caring is actually, to me, kind of the returning of that wonder to the world and saying, I care about the plants, I care about people, I care about love, I care about life, right? And so I love that you're excited about this month. I'm the same way. I'm like a kid. Like if you and I have a conversation, and we've had very good conversations, I mean, I think we start out thinking that we're going to talk 10 minutes and we end up talking. Oh my God, it'll be a quick
So
call.
true.
And then you're already in Palm Springs before I have a chance. You're like, I'm already here or whatever. Like, but that's what happens. We bounce off of each other and we feel that energy, and we do feel, and every single person, I want everybody who's watching this to know you are part of that same energy. So if you feel that little light or excitement inside as you're hearing this and it's kind of resonating as truth, that's because it is that connection that connects us all. And so try and live in the caring this month. Be really conscious of the caring.
Be really conscious of the caring.
Yes. And
actively conscious of it.
Actively. And then allow it to take you where it needs to take you.
Yeah.
And see what shows up, man. That's going to be exciting. Speaking of exciting, we didn't launch our class last night because of circumstance. That's okay. We're going to launch next week. Can you, and you are the teacher, I want our community to know that, one of the things that we say is that a trained mind is far more powerful than an untrained mind. That sounds like jargon, but it's really not. When you think about that, you can consciously learn how to control your mind and control the life, be able to start to control what it is that you're putting into the world. When you start to be able to do that, that's where the rubber hits the road. And one of the ways that you can do that in this philosophy is through education or learning.
Yes.
And it doesn't say, it's not like grade 10 algebra. I'm telling you it's not. Although for some people that was easy. So I'm not knocking it, but it's not the struggle. It's learning with fun. Tell me briefly, like, about the course that you're about to teach.
So I taught one for Global Truth Los Angeles with the same title, The Energy of Choice. But the difference this time is I've decided to move it more towards consciousness, really. So we are going to be working with two books. We're going to be working with Dr. Ernest Holmes's Science of Mind, just to really kind of get into the nitty-gritty of what it is. And the second book is called What is Consciousness? And it's basically a conversation between Jean Houston, Larry Dorsey, and Enzo, why am I spacing on his name right now? Laszlo. And it's basically the take that they have on what consciousness is, and that explanation of, how boundless it is and how unifying it is, how, and how I bring it back to choice is really understanding, like, again, going back to when you remember who you are, you understand that you're unstoppable. And part of this is also because I know for myself, for a very long time, it was like, I kept just coming back to the same situation, and maybe in a different city, and maybe with a different person, and maybe a sort of a different circumstance, but it's the same situation that left me feeling a certain way. And so somehow I'm like, how am I here again? And I realized when I make certain choices, it's just like, it's like a bread trail that leads you to this thing that's happening. And when you can see that little bread trail, which is really your thoughts, your beliefs, and therefore your actions that lead you to this thing that, and sometimes it's a great, like, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, all these decisions are terrible decisions. We make really amazing decisions for ourselves. And isn't it great when we can actually see the formula of what leads us to this? It's not like, oh my God, I can't believe this actually happened to me. Well, you should, because you created it. It didn't just come out of nowhere, you know? And if you can find what those little breadcrumbs are that make you feel like, wow, like this is amazing, let's get more of that. And if you can follow the breadcrumbs to those situations that you're not really excited about, let's find out how that can be transmuted into something else. That's what this class is about, to really kind of hone in on what it is that you're want to create. Because as you know, it's not just a tangible manifestation, it's the energy that you meet that from. So if you can start with being in that energy, then you can actually create it. The creation is not going to bring you the energy. The energy is going to unfold the creation.
Beautiful. I love that. And the fact that it's actually practical, like practical, hands-on, it sounds like the students are going to get a lot out of this, Dr. Liza.
I am, and it's, you know, don't be, I'm considering, although I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do this, I may or may not, but at the last class we may do like a project. But it's more about really putting all that you've learned to see what it is that you're creating.
Beautiful. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it and being part of it, but I'm mostly looking forward to, you know, you actually experiencing in our community, actually experiencing your teaching and your ability to teach that. So,
well, I'm excited for it. I love coming on here. I love being a part of the community, and I'm excited to teach my first class at GTCT in Toronto.
Awesome. So next Tuesday at 6:30, I know that we've got a bunch of people who've signed up. I know that there's more to sign up to as well. We're going to maybe send a newsletter out or something, or
oh yes, I have a video that I wanted to send out, just a little bit of like a, you know, class, the books, what we're going to be looking for in the books.
Awesome. Well, I'll look forward to sending that out, Dr. Liza. Thank you so much. You are a dear friend and a friend of this community and a friend of GTCT, you know, more than you know. You're part of our DNA as well. So thank you.
I feel it. Listen, and it is so true. I can be on a 2.5-hour drive to Palm Desert, and you and I can feel that conversation.
Yeah, just a quick call, just a minute. So true.
And it's all these ahas that we have. It's great. So I'm excited to do this with you.
Well, that's really great. Thank you for bringing the consciousness here. So at this point, I'm just going to ask basically to let you know, this is the point of giving in our service, where we ask people to donate to help us stay live and to help us be able to continue to get this message out there. There are costs associated with doing that. So if you're inclined to do so, go to our website at globaltruthcentertoronto.com. You can donate that way. Also, you can go to info@globaltruthcenter.com and send an e-transfer. We have PayPal for anybody who's watching that may or may not be in the country. One thing I wanted to say too is, if you want to continue to be more involved in the community, go to our webpage and sign up to become a member of Global Truth Center Toronto. Also, you can sign up for the e-newsletter there so that you're getting this on a weekly basis. I know we have a lot of new people who are new to this philosophy. You know, join us and become a member. Go and find out what that's all about. We talked about the classes with Dr. Liza next week, so be sure to join us for that. I'm sure it's going to be a dynamic class. And at this point, I just wanted to say my thank yous to the wonderful Nick, who's actually running things in the background. You know, technical and administrative are challenging sometimes. Sometimes we have glitches, and sometimes, but we power on through, and that's what it's about. Just know that there is a team behind us that is already, you know, doing things with us. And the amazing and terrific Pierre, who's got a live gig coming up in June. We'll tell you more about that. It's in Brampton, Gage Park, which I used to back onto the Gage Park when I was in high school about 10 or 15 years ago. But I used to back onto that park. So when he said he's at Gage Park, that'll be sometime in June. We will give you more details on that for sure as it comes up. And also don't forget to go to his live stream, because he's live streaming through the major channels. So go check it out, and it's Spire, Spyre. Go check that out. Download some of his music. It would be great to support him. He supports us so well every week as well. And to the amazing Dr. Liza Marquez, it is always, the time goes so quickly when I'm talking with you. I love doing the meditation, but I'm always like, oh wait, Liza's on. I need to spend more time talking with her. But we got through it.
Well, I feel like I had to put a little timer real quick because when your meditation is so lovely that I thought I'm going to fall asleep. I'm going to end up falling asleep here.
Well, that's good.
Pierre agrees with me. I know he does.
Yeah, there you are.
Yep.
And I just want to say also thank you again. And I just want to say to our community, thank you for coming. Thank you for your presence and your consciousness here tonight. Know that it doesn't go unfelt. It doesn't go void. It goes out into the world and it helps change the world. So thank you for bringing your consciousness. And with that, I will ask Pierre to sing us out tonight. And looking forward to hear your song, Pierre.
Okay, this is one of mine. This is called Be Kind.
Oh, appropriate.
Yes. Life can be high and low, laugh, love and cry. It is how we grow, how we grow. To be your best. Where you're going to, it'll be alright. Find what you're looking for. Keep it in your sight. Sight and be kind to your mind. believe is what we receive.
And there's the testimony for the week, everybody. Take that out into the world. Go play, have fun, be caring. Be caring. Thank you, Pierre. That was so awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you all next week. Same place, same time. Cheers.